They do confirm what we've been saying, that there are heavily armed men, illegal miners down there. So it just goes to show that our intelligence is at work.
No humanitarian aid for the Zama Zamas being held hostage or refusing to leave the Stilfontein mine shaft. Signs of vandalism, but the president's Stain bridge is reportedly solid.
He was a phenomenon within the Afrikaans literature.
Remembering the late Breyten Breytenbach. Hello, I'm Jane Dutton.
This is Eyewitness News.
Gun-wielding Basotho nationals, the men who reportedly control the illegal operations at Stilfontein. This information from the 14 illegal miners, all Mozambican nationals, including a 14-year-old boy who've been arrested after resurfacing from the mine.
What is good is that all of them are still alive, though it was indicated that they were very weak. Some were injured when I spoke to the colonel. But what we're saying is that proves that the very same people who allege they don't want to come out, they are prepared to come out. And we see by them coming, 14 of them coming out. And we believe that is the rescue team on the side of Shaft 11 should speed up the process, because we need to see the people coming out.
They do confirm what we've been saying, that there are heavily armed men, illegal miners down there. So it just goes to show that our intelligence is at work.
Mate says they've been informed that armed men have been holding other illegal miners hostage underground.
They do tell us as well that the food and water that have been sent down were confiscated by these heavily armed men, and they are not giving it to these illegal miners. They're keeping it for themselves because they want to continue with the illegal mining operations.
They are part of hundreds, if not thousands, operating illegally, and they won't be getting any food or water anytime soon. The North Gauteng High Court has dismissed an application by civil rights groups for humanitarian relief for illegal miners in the Northwest. NGO Society for the Protection of Our Constitution brought forward the application against the Departments of Police, Health and Cooperative Governance and Traditional Affairs. They claim the cutting off of food, water and medical supplies by police to the Zama Zamas is an infringement of their basic human rights. But the court dismissed the application, adding there is no evidence police have acted outside of the law during Operation Vala Umgodi. Community organising Mining Affected Communities United in Action says it plans to file fresh papers.
I don't understand why the court should dismiss their legislation, which is Section 27, to say that they cannot get relief, when Section 27 says you've got the right to sufficient food and water, but they are saying dismissing that. They're contradicting themselves.
Police have busted yet another drug mule with drugs worth almost 2 million rand at the OR Tambo International Airport. The 25-year-old Brazilian national was arrested after being found with more than 3 kilograms of cocaine wrapped around his body. Several similar arrests have been made at the airport in the past few months. We've also heard that cases of murder, rape, sexual offences and robbery with aggravating circumstances decreased between July and September.
Focusing on conduct crime, statistics indicate that murder decreased by 5.8%, sexual offences by 2.5%, and robbery with aggravating circumstances by 8.8%. Additionally, rape decreased by 3.1%, while robbery at residential premises and non-residential premises decreased by 1.3%.
This comes in the wake of 17 cops who were killed between July and September. Fighting while the millions who desperately need cheap, efficient transportation suffer. Unhappy taxi owners who sold their vehicles to make way for the Rea Vaya system are threatening to further delay agreements that gave rise to the bus rapid transit system. The City of Johannesburg, taxi associations and Rea Vaya operator Piatrans remain at odds over alleged non-payments linked to the implementation of the BRT nearly 2 decades ago. An attempt to resolve the impasse in Soweto today failed as Transport MMC Kenny Kaneni was asked to leave and instead bring Mayor Dada Morero to the table.
I could have done something else. They could have just called me from my house that, no, don't come to the meeting. I don't know why they brought me to the meeting to just come and tell me that I can address them.
Government has made another appeal for a ceasefire in Palestine and Lebanon as it observes the United Nations International Day of Solidarity with Palestinian people. The Department of International Relations says government won't relent in its pursuit for a just and lasting solution to the Palestine situation. Today, Minister Ronald Lamola will be awarded by the Palestinian Authority in recognition of his role in launching South Africa's case against Israel in the International Court of Justice in his previous portfolio as Justice Minister. The Cape Flats Safety Forum has called on the government to probe the high rate of children being killed in shootings and stabbings in the Western Cape. The Western Cape Health Department says 79 children were killed in the province between September and November this year.
We are concerned that once again there seems to be an increase in terms of children that becomes victims to crimes, specifically to gun violence. We call on the authorities to step up again, and we further call on a special probe to deal with gun violence specifically in and around the Western Cape.
ISIX says gangs are increasingly recruiting children on the Cape Flats, and government should be doing more to offer children alternatives to gangsterism and crime. This comes as 16 days of activism against violence on women and children campaign starts today. Eskom is helping residents in Soweto get their meters updated after their deadline came and went yesterday. The utility is now assisting customers who are illegally connected to the grid. Since the early hours of the morning, residents have been queuing at the Eskom service centre in Zola for assistance. The power utility has warned meters not upgraded this week will stop working. The Department of Electricity made a decision that people who are connected to the grid illegally are buying tokens from unregistered vendors and have issues with their meters should come back today.
I
moved into my late sister's house, and it was her children who bypassed the electricity meter because they didn't have money.
The city of Tshwane has assured motorists that pillars that hold up the President Steyn Bridge in Pretoria are structurally sound. In the video doing the rounds on social media, it appears the bottom of the concrete pillars that hold up the bridge have been cut and only a small part is still intact.
As a city of Tshwane, we just want to take our residents into confidence and inform them that we've had a few assessments in the past. This was done in 2013, October, and the last one was done this year, around February. We had sent a group of inspectors, engineers, to do the assessment of the bridge and the pillars, and they were found to be structurally sound. However, recently, as the department, we have picked up also that there have been a bit of tampering with the concrete joint to gain access to the steel. So clearly it's a case of vandalism, and that we will be doing further investigations in as far as the repairs are concerned.
Breyten Breytenbach passed away in Paris, France, on Sunday at the age of 85. He was born in Bonnievale in 1939 and is considered one of the greatest ever Afrikaans poets. His works touched on themes of exile, identity and justice. He spent time behind bars for his opposition to the apartheid regime and was forced to flee South Africa in the 1960s and made his second home in France.
He was a phenomenon within the Afrikaans literature. I mean, his first volume just exploded across Afrikaans literature. The volume was larger, physically bigger than any other poetry volume at that stage.
Eyewitness News, in touch, in tune, and independent. For the latest, log on to ewn.co.za or ewn.mobi.